It's been a lot of rumors surrounding the Chicago Bulls. Should they go after a guy like Giannis? Should they go after a guy like Zion Williamson? And you know it's going to be more rumors that hit the Chicago Bulls. But on today's episode, I'm here to let you all know why the Chicago Bulls should avoid trading for a superstar, at least for the moment. Y'all know me and CDubb going to talk about it. He might have a rebuttal, but it's okay. But y'all know before we get into it, you got to hear the music first.
Cognac, gang.
Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I am with my dog CDubb. What's the word?
What's the word? We in this bitch. It's been a long time, nephew. What's the word?
I don't know. You been ducking. I don't know. I've been cooking, ducking. But hey, if y'all tuned in with us today, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. CDubb, before you go into any explanations, when I come to you and I say the Chicago Bulls should avoid trading for a superstar, at least for the moment, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
A lot of things. It ain't one thing that comes to my
Bro
mind.
said a lot of things.
A lot of things, bro. Like Montes Buzelis, I instantly think Montes Buzelis pop in my mind first.
Why? If that ain't got nothing to do with trading for us. I mean, yeah. But let me go ahead and cook. The reason I'm on the side of that the Chicago Bulls should avoid trading for a superstar right now is for a number of things. The first thing for the Chicago Bulls is that one of your bargaining chips, absolutely, if you traded for a superstar, let's just throw in Giannis Antetokounmpo in there. Montes Buzelis is going to be a trade chip that teams are going to look after, especially if you're trying to acquire a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo. The next thing I'm looking at is that the Nikola Vucevic trade. The Nikola Vucevic trade cost the Chicago Bulls 2 first-round picks, and one of those first-round picks went to Orlando, and they got Franz Wagner. I'm not necessarily going out there and going to compare who's better than the other, but Franz Wagner will look hella good right now in the Chicago Bulls uniform. Another reason is that I'm looking at the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics, they came out, they got Marcus Smart, then they got Jason Tatum, then Jaylen Brown. And then after they ran their system and ran their course with those young players, that's when they went out and got themselves a Kristaps Porzingis. That's when the Boston Celtics went and got themselves a Drew Holiday. I think that the Chicago Bulls are too early in a developmental stage to sit there and risk and get rid of future draft assets to go out there and swing for the fences when if the Chicago Bulls was to acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo right now, you don't have anything else available to you to go out there and build a respectable team around Giannis Antetokounmpo, just speaking hyperbole, to get the Chicago Bulls to championship contention. That's why I say the Chicago Bulls should avoid trading for a superstar, at least for the moment.
You think they're not ready? Okay. That's a good reason. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I bet. First of all, when you building team, a championship team, it's always gonna come down to how good your superstar is. So you're gonna need a superstar. But it's different routes to going about that. It's different ideology of how you want to do this. Some people like to go out and spend on a big name guy that's disgruntled, or he just want to move to a bigger market, or he just want to move home, or whatever, etc., etc. But there's an other way that you can do that, and it's called in-house. You can develop a superstar with-house. I'll give a couple examples. The 1984 Chicago Bulls. How about the Golden State Warriors? Yeah, you could build it within your system. Because I remember this, one of the greatest basketball movies of all time, Love and Basketball. Some people might not like it. I love it. It's basketball involved. I'm going to love it. And they had a young lady who starred on that. She was an actress. She won a lot of awards for it. Her name was Sanaa Lathan or Monica Wright. And she was always the best friend of Quincy McCall or Omar Epps. And she was always his best friend, like a tomboy is. She always playing sports with him, just one of the guys. But this guy always went through his life just going with the easiest, he can get, the easiest things he can get because he a superstar. Long story short, a great thing was right there in front of his face, and he was looking all over the place, but the greatest thing could be right there in front of you. And that just leads up to Montes Buzelis. I'm willing to bet that Montes Buzelis has a good chance to be a superstar someday in his career. All you have to do is believe, but it's up to them. You know what I'm saying? It's up to them. But there is superstar qualities when you think about a guy like Montes Buzelis. Talent, got superstar talent. You just got to develop that shit and mold it up. And showmanship? Oh, come on. He got the showmanship. We ain't got to talk about that. How about personality? Oh, he got personality. A lot of people don't know because he ain't get the notoriety that he deserves this year, but he got personality too. Swag, he from the shop. Bro, yes, you don't have to get a superstar. You can have one in-house already.
All right, so in layman's term, where you getting at with this? Because it sounds like you still willing to trade for the superstar.
Did you listen to anything I said? What the fuck? I said the most thing is right in front of your face. Montes Buzelis is on your team. What the fuck kind of question is that? Did you just have your fucking headphones off? What the fuck?
So pretty much you saying you on par with what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just gave my reason. That was yours, and this is
my man's drew out a hella soliloquy just to get to the point. I respect the hell out of it though, but it means a lot to me, man, because I just look at the Chicago Bulls, bro, in this position where everybody's gonna be sitting there talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. We've already talked about Zion Williamson. You even did a video on that talking about either or. Which way do you go if you was to explore those options? There's going to be rumblings surrounding Ja Morant that's going to come this offseason. I expect that. I don't necessarily know if it's going to happen, but I expect those conversations around Ja Morant this offseason simply because, there's already some of the national talking heads talking about Ja Morant isn't this, Ja Morant isn't that. He's trying to make a name for him. Well, bounce back from the Instagram stuff and things like that. So it's going to be a lot of conversations say, hey, is this a good fit for the Chicago Bulls? And I would turn every single one of those guys down. I'm not even going to lie to you. This is the only way I'm entertaining any trade talk for the Chicago Bulls. And I know it's not going to happen. This is the only way. And you going to agree with me. This is the only way you entertain any superstar trade talk for the Chicago Bulls. If it's for Anthony Edwards. If it ain't for him, I don't want to hear nothing. Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree?
I mean, Giannis is... you disagreeing with Giannis?
Yes.
Why?
30 years old. With a game that's I can see going down in the next 4 to 5 years. Anthony Edwards, 23 years old, that's 10 year plus. That's the only thing I'm entertaining, and I know it's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna happen.
That's like a daydream or something.
It is. That's what I'm saying. I'm not entertaining no trading for a superstar unless it's for Anthony Edwards. You can have Montes, you can have Josh Giddey, you can have Kobe White. I know the team gonna suck, but I know, I know you can absolutely make decisions to where you can get some guys to help Anthony Edwards. But other than that, I know it's not going to happen. So don't kill me in the comments. Don't kill me right now, CDubb. I'm just saying that's the only superstar trade talk I'm ever entertaining, and I know it's not going to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
But to lead on to the point of why I'm
Wait,
not.
hold on, goddamn it! I'm gonna
Oh, all
disagree
right.
with you. Giannis is, goddamn it, I agree with most of what you said, but Giannis is also into that mix with
No,
Anthony Edwards for me.
no.
Jesus, yes.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I like Giannis game. He's a fucking monster. Just this postseason by himself, he was putting
Plug
up
and play.
30, 20. He was putting up 30, 20, and like
Yeah,
10 and 2 blocks and 2 steals. Like he was an absolute monster.
yeah.
But I'm looking at a guy, Anthony Edwards, that went out there and deleted. Yeah, I'm gonna say deleted. KD,
Bro, we
Devin
can't.
Booker,
We can't
Joker,
do that. We can't get
LeBron,
him. It's not
and Luca.
possible. It's
I'm
not
just
even
saying. I'm
possible.
just saying at 23
Giannis
years
is
old,
a
I know it.
smidget possible.
That's why I just said it's not gonna happen. That's why I don't know why we going. I just said it's not gonna happen. I just said that.
Oh,
It's
well,
not
Giannis.
even in a
All I'm saying
discussion.
is Giannis. I'm agreeing with that. We need if Giannis is available and we can get Giannis and we don't have to give up Montes Buzelis. Yes, for me, yes,
It's
100
a no,
times.
bro. I don't think like
He a plug and play player. You can
I
plug him
think
in.
outside of all the hyperboles and all the you know what I'm saying, the jokes, which is why I brought it up anyway, because I know it's never gonna happen ever. The Minnesota Timberwolves will be absolute delusional, drunk, confused. They'll need a psychiatrist to come in and do an evaluation. Whatever. We gonna question Alex Rodriguez. What the hell was you thinking? Everything. That's why I brought it up, because I don't think it's ever gonna happen. So that's why I'm saying, even from
Oh, you
Giannis
saying that we
Antetokounmpo.
never get a superstar? That's what you saying?
No, I'm saying I'm not entertaining any superstar trade talk if it's not Anthony Edwards, which I know is never going to happen for the Chicago Bulls. That's why I put it out there, because I'm not entertaining none of it.
Okay.
I'm not entertaining none
Okay.
of it. That's my whole point. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about for the listeners. Don't get sidetracked. It was just something to throw out there to
Yeah, I
let you
know.
guys know I'm not entertaining anything right now unless it's for Anthony Edwards and he 23, but I know it's never going to happen.
Yeah, you just put a
Period.
little extra mild sauce on it. That's how you.
Yeah, we
But,
definitely just put a little extra mild sauce
but
for it. We up the size of that lemonade that we want with the chicken fried hard with lemon pepper. You know what I'm saying? We did that. But
like
my whole
ice.
point is, is that I look at teams like the Houston Rockets. Just catch my drift. I got two teams for you that I'm looking at in this playoffs right now. The Chicago Bulls, if the Chicago Bulls look at the Houston Rockets right now, you look at the Houston Rockets and they are battling with the Golden State Warriors. And what after every single game, we're saying, man, what would a superstar like Kevin Durant do for the Houston Rockets right now to close out games, because Jalen Green ain't showing up. You got all these athletic wing defenders and guys that can go out there and get you buckets at the basket. But when Golden State shifts their focus and Draymond Green is able to shut down Şengün, can you give the ball to the superstar and KD? Absolutely. If I'm the Chicago Bulls, I'm looking at the Detroit Pistons, who literally had the game in their hands the other night versus the New York Knicks before Jalen Brunson hit the go-ahead winning three. They giving them all they can handle. And if you looking at Detroit Pistons, what would a superstar like Devin Booker do for that team? Take them to another level. I'm saying for the Chicago Bulls, let's get to a level to where we have young talent that we can consider our core, but enough young talent that we can say, all right, we can get rid of Jabari Smith. All right, on the Detroit Pistons, we can get rid of Jaden Ivey. And then you can have that core and go get a superstar that take you over the top. What do you say to that?
Oh no, I don't have anything to oppose to that. I think them the great ideas. I think in these two teams that you brought up in their specific situations, they do need a superstar because the player like Jalen Green in his case, he didn't step up to that plate when he had the chance this playoffs. I don't think he's played well at all. Well, he played well in the wins, but when they really needed him, he wasn't there. So it's maybe a little room where you can insert like a Kevin Durant and groom Jalen Green until he could become that player. And with the Detroit Pistons, I do think they need another superstar over there. I think Cade eventually be a superstar. He do need another one over there because it's so hard for them to score. So in those particular situations, I do think you're right on that 100%.
Yeah, and that's my whole point. I think that the Chicago Bulls, they are close to reaching that level to where we can say, all right, now we're in a good position. Let's go get a superstar. But I think that right now, the Chicago Bulls are not there yet. I think they need to, hey, nobody want to hear it. AK has a point. A little bit more patience, bro. A little bit more patience, bro. I know we like Josh Giddey. I know we like Kobe White. We like Ayo Dosunmu. We love Montes Buzelis. But after that, we got questions about Dalen Terry. We have questions about Julian Phillips. We don't even like Patrick Williams at the current moment. Let's build this thing maybe for another year or so, and let's see if we can say let's punch a number what 6 seed that the Detroit Pistons is right now, I believe, or a number 2 seed like the Rockets, and then be like, all right, let our young guys get this grit. Let's see them battle, and then we use players like a Dalen Terry, a Julian Phillips to bargain with another team and say, all right, your star doesn't like being here right now, or we see your star not performing to the level that you expect him to perform at. Give us him. We got assets to move on eventually. But I think it's still too soon right now for the Chicago Bulls.
Um, yeah, that's a good way to go. I like your take about that. It's different routes they can go. I just ended with that.
Absolutely.
It's
I
different routes
think
they can go.
and my way is not the only way. I wanna
Yeah,
I wanna make that clear. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's
I ain't
not
mad
the
at it. It's
only
a
way.
it's a it's a definitely it's not a bad idea. I'll tell you that. But it's different. It's different ways they can go about this off season. So, but that's not a bad idea you have.
Of
It's not.
course. Like in your opinion, with a different type of focus, would you kind of say a different type of way you can kind of map that out would be in the way of a Denver Nuggets? All right, we find our superstar in Jokic. The Bulls could potentially find theirs in Montes Buzelis. We draft our backup or co-star in Jamal Murray. We go and we pick up a Aaron Gordon. We draft a MPJ. We pick up guys, you know what I'm saying, like a Russell Westbrook and those type of players. That's a different route. You think that's a different route that could potentially make sense maybe a year or two down the road?
Um, they can ask. It's definitely a route, but I don't know if they can ask for patience all that they want, though. You know what I'm saying? 2 years down the road and 3 years down the road, you kind of ask it for a lot for Chicago Bulls fans. So yeah, definitely they can try to go that route. It's not an exact science. It's not like you're going to it's going to work out like the Denver Nuggets worked out. Nothing's going to work out how you plan in any fucking way that you try to build a team. But I think they do got the arrow pointed up because you got some pieces. You got Giddy, you got Kobe, you got Montes, you got a couple guys that you probably thinking about on the bench. You know what I'm saying? So you're not the cupboard's not bare. So you got many ways you can go about this off season right here. I'm excited to see which way they go. And all that patience and all that, that's kind of tough. That's a tough ask. I ain't gonna lie. It's
I'm
tough.
with you, and I'm not speaking for patience when it comes to playoff. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think that right now the Chicago Bulls should be trying to figure out ways to etch themselves finally in the playoffs,
Are
not
you
in the
looking are
play
you
in.
looking are you looking towards are you speaking and building a team towards a championship, or are you skipping the playoffs altogether just to get me in the right math frame? Are you talking about building a team for a championship, or are you talking about building a team for the playoffs next season?
I'm talking about both of them. Number one, I think that you want to eventually get to championship contention, but I believe you can't skip steps.
Right. That's why I'm not
That's
even
why I'm on
that's why I
a
asked you that, nephew, because I'm not even thinking about a championship next. I'm thinking about
exactly.
the playoffs. for next season. I'm not thinking about that until if the team improves overnight, then I can up my expectations. But my expectations for this team at this current moment is only going to be concentrated on the playoffs. Well, in reality, literally, I'm concentrated on the draft. But in the conversation that we speaking, I'm only thinking about the playoffs. Why would I think about something that is not attainable unless this team is changed?
I agree
Dramatically.
100% with you. And that's my mind frame. I believe the next season coming up in 2025, 2026, the Bulls should be pushing for a playoff spot.
Yeah,
And that's just my personal opinion. You
absolutely.
got guys like Josh Giddey. You got guys like Kobe White. Ayodo Sumu is going to be returning. Lonzo Ball, his knee is not an issue. He will
Draft.
be here, could be able to help this team. You
Yep.
have a draft pick. The
Yep.
expectation is to go out there and get a player that can come in and be effective for the Chicago Bulls. We should be fighting for a playoff spot.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. If the Chicago Bulls come in and they work themselves up to a nice play-in spot, a nice play-in berth, and give whatever team that they're going against a little bit of fight in the first round, that's when you can swing for a guy if you have the assets available to help you propel you to the next level. I just don't think that the Chicago Bulls right now, as it currently stands, they should be swinging too soon. You have to take your time with this. I know we want to speed up the process. I know people are ticked off with the Bulls front office, but it steps to this. And I'm looking at these young teams around the NBA that's in this playoffs fighting their ass off. Boston, Orlando Magic that was fighting, the Houston Rockets that's still fighting, and the Detroit Pistons, you know what I'm saying, that was fighting before they got sent home.
That's
Now is their time to swing for the fences. The
that,
Chicago Bulls, I think, it's too early.
I think that's sort of like the oxymoron too. Like you don't want them to you don't want to speed up the process, but you ain't got no patience. I'm not talking about you. You
It's
ain't
the
got no
fans. Yeah.
patience, but you don't want to speed up the process. That's kind of like an oxymoron. Yeah, yeah. I just think we should just concentrate on what we got in front of us, bro. And let's not look too far into the future, bro, because we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't even know what's gonna happen in this draft, bro.
Facts.
We hope that the Chicago Bulls will go in here and do the right thing. What's the right thing, nephew?
Just take it one day at a time.
No, what's
That's
the
it.
right thing in the draft? What's the type of player should we draft? What's the right
I
thing to
think you
do?
need an athletic big that can run the floor, give you something inside the paint. In the I think the Chicago Bulls should be looking at a big that can be a presence. I think that the Chicago Bulls don't have a good versatile front court personally. You don't have a shot blocker or a guy that can deflect or change up the opposing team shot. You don't have that right now. Look around. The Detroit Pistons had Jalen Duren. Look at the Houston Rockets. That they got Shangoon, who's probably not a shot blocker, but or a major rebounder, but the guy you can bring in off the bench is Steven Adams, who gonna go ahead and give you 10 rebounds in minimum minutes. Then you look at the number one seed in the West and OKC, they got Hardenstein and Chet. Then you look at Boston Celtics, they got Kristaps Porzingis and Al Horford. Then you look at Minnesota Timberwolves, who can go out there and run Naz Reid and run a Rudy Gobert at the center spot or play big. You need bigs. To hell with all these guards we keep picking up. We need some bigs.
Mm, mm, mm. Couldn't have said it even better. That is the absolute responsible thing to do. Do we think that the Bulls would do it? We hope they would do it, but
Hey, I
we
ain't gonna
ain't
lie to
fully
you.
concentrated.
Before we get up out of here, at number one, 1.7% chance the Chicago Bulls get number one. Is it Coop? Because you gotta get Coop.
At number one, you go, yeah, they gonna
You
get
gotta get Coop if you get number one. But if you fall top four, not one, but 2, 3, or 4, you gotta come out with the center from Duke. Come on, Maluwap. You gotta get him if you can.
Yeah, Derek Queen's there, but I'm gonna go with the guy from Duke.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go
You
with
got
the
to
guy
come
from
out
Duke.
with somebody that's big.
Yeah, you got to get a big up in here, bro. Anything else, I'm cussing motherfuckers out. Bro.
Hey, the
In that order.
NBA has shown in the playoffs physical play only. And how you gonna be physical is you got to have bigs. You gotta have bigs that give you
Oh,
extra
yes.
possessions.
JJ just learned that, didn't he? Didn't
Oh
JJ
my
just learn
goodness,
that?
just a damn
Stop. Hey,
buffoon.
and on Rio, I don't even like him. Like, really, I don't like his attitude, and he kind of narcissistic type motherfucker. He don't
Bro,
never
like
blame
what?
himself. He don't never blame himself. He just blame other people
Just
and shit.
dumb.
It's like, stop trying to mess with the big man, JJ. You need the big man. Don't do that again with Jackson Hayes. They wouldn't have. You let Rudy Gobert go for 27 and 24. When you ever seen Rudy Gobert go for 27 and 24? You dumb motherfucker.
Hey, that was Rudy Gobert. I believe, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. That was Rudy Gobert's first 20-point game since 2021.
Come on, bro.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I believe that's what I heard over the broadcast.
They make it even crazier, bro. What?
Crazy work. You telling me Jackson Hayes couldn't give you a rebound? A rebound?
You know, bro, why they do no, I'm gonna get me started. This is only a Bulls channel, bro. Bro, I don't know. And then he go out there and say something about Luka, something about some of us on this team need to come in playoff shape or something. He said something. Just say Luka name. That's the only one ain't in shit. This ain't the NBA channel, bro. I don't like JJ, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
But hey, you got anything left for today's episode, bro?
Good conversation. I hope they hurry up with this playoffs because I want to see my team in the summer league. We got the draft coming up.
You got draft lottery in on May 12th.
May
it's
12th,
busting.
like less than a week and a half, huh?
Yeah.
Joe, this man, he scored 35. This is Rudy Gobert against the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah. He got 105 career regular season games with 20 points. That's not a
Bro,
lot.
what? But hey,
Bro.
That is it for us today, y'all. We hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. Chime into the conversation. Let us know how y'all feeling about my position on it. CDubb supporting it, giving his soliloquy, trying to eloquently drop that. You know what I'm saying? Just look right in front of you and see what the Chicago Bulls have. You ain't necessarily got to force the issue, but just look at what's right in front of you. And Montes Buzelis, if you take care of that young fella, I believe he can be the superstar that you need. And then you can figure out who you can pair with him down the road. Not necessarily saying it has to be 3-4 years down the road, but that sometime down the road, you can try to figure out how you can pair somebody else with him. But hey, that's the end of today's episode. Leave your comments, your thoughts, everything down in the comment box below. The voicemail line is open. Shout out to my man CDubb who called in on yesterday's episode, and you can be a part of the episode as well. If you call in, the number to do so is 773-242-9219. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all always see red, and y'all already know we're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.
Cognac. Gang.